So hello and welcome back to SJ Cartier Limited Convos. And I realise the last couple of my posts after my Friday positivity has been a bit negative, and some of it surrounds my past and my history of where I come from and how I grew. So since some people like to think they can use it in the background or try and highlight to who they think are normal civilians, because we're all normal civilians, about my history, I thought I'd go into my history and actually do two things. Show you my DBS right now that I attempted to get from when I attempted to become a child and adult passenger assistant for the council. And I will show you exactly all my convictions now. There is 16 pages, we can go through them. And failing to surrender is one of my charges, convictions, yep. Resist or obstruct a constable is one of them. Theft is one of them. We want to go through more. Theft, shoplifting, doing act intending to pervert the course of justice, theft from person, theft, failing to surrender, theft, commit act of serious intent to pervert the course of justice, theft, failing to surrender, resist or obstruct, common assault, failing to surrender, common assault, failing to surrender at appointed time, failing to surrender, commit act, series of acts with intent. And you have to remember the dates on these. So I was born 1988. And the date on these ones here is 2005. I'm now 37 years of age. So these were when I was around 17. Yeah? So just remember, this was when I was 17. 20 years ago. 20 years ago. How have you changed in 20 years? Please tell me. So yeah, we'll keep going through. 2005, failing to surrender, theft. Like, come on now, what type of person? Yeah, theft. Possess Class A, Class C controlled drug, theft, commit act of serious act with intent to pervert the course of justice, theft, failing to surrender, racially aggravated common assault, failing to surrender, theft, breach of community order, theft, breach of community order. Come on now, hello. And if you want me to go into this racially aggravated assault, this was basically me on the train being quizzed for my ticket, and I had a ticket, and then an Asian train driver at the time deciding to grab me and try and manhandle me because he believed I was a child and believed we wouldn't fight back, and he believed he could intimidate me. And I asked him, why is he trying to intimidate the young black child? And that is the reason why it was classed as a racial assault, because he said I pushed him and I pushed him off and ran off, basically. That's the be all and end all of it. He tried to grab me because he was a train inspector. And I will tell you, all of my assaults are not on normal civilians. They are due to police actually attacking me, and then me reacting in a way because you're putting your hands on me, regardless of whether you think I've done a crime or not. The way you are approaching me and putting your hands on me, I felt aggression, and I am not someone to just make you grab me and do what you want. So I react in whatever way I reacted as a 17, 18, 19-year-old. As we see from the video that I've commented showed, where 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where I was in the comic book shop and the police tried to attack me, I was not attacking and reacting in the same way I was 20 years ago, 19 years ago, shall we say. Yeah, let's just say those things as well, because it seems like a lot of these things go over people's head, and I don't really care. This is how I lived. I was living on my own at this time. I'd moved out of my mother's, and I had no other support other than the roads and the street. So I went out and I enjoyed, as you will see, a lot of these offences happened across a variety of places because I was travelling a variety of places. I enjoyed travelling. That's why I do my business now. I enjoy travelling. If you realise why there was a lot of theft, it's because I liked a lot of things. I may have bought a lot of things, but I also couldn't afford everything I wanted to buy. So sometimes I used to take things. I know now that was wrong. I'm not going in places stealing from anywhere now. Every single product you see on sjcartierlimited.com was bought by me. Every single thing with legitimate money. So tell me where these correlate with the person I am now. Common assault, travelling on the railway without paying, failing to surrender, use disorderly behaviour, theft, attempt to theft, assault to constable, possess Class A controlled drug, theft, possessing Class controlled drug Class A, breach of licence, theft from dwelling, failing to surrender. So as you see, yeah, I've got a lot of actual criminal offences, but you see, like, a lot of these charges as well are actually failures to surrenders and some breach, some minor offences. And then if we look at it as the thefts, really, the thefts and shoplifting is a minor offence, especially when you are a teenager. You don't know any better. And especially when you've tried things, you've went to college, you've tried things, you tried to get jobs. The only way you could make a certain amount of money sometimes, and this is where I'm going to say, this is where I say, a lot of people may laugh at me and say, oh, but you still went in for so many theft charges. But that's what people used to say to me when I was growing up. How are we doing this? And you're going jail for theft. You know why? Because theft, it was just a spur of the moment thing when I was shopping. And sometimes I took things, sometimes I brought things. It's just how it happened. Sometimes I made money from it. Sometimes I just kept my things. That's just what happened. It was just a little bit of theft. And I used to laugh at the thing as say, you know what, lads? I'm getting locked up for these little thefts, yeah? These little thefts. And man, I go in jail for 10, 5, 15 years. And we're doing the same things. Please tell me, am I ashamed of going jail for 2 months, 3 months because I stole something? I actually am not. I'm actually happy that, you know what? I only went to jail for little things, and it disrupted my life growing up as a teenager. And although up until my recent last 10 years, I hadn't had a free year out of jail. So although every year from the age of 15 up until I was 29, every year I had stepped my foot into a jail. I could have been staying in those jails, but I stepped out of those jails and stepped into those jails within those time frames. There's a lot of people who've spent long stretches in their time all throughout that time, and they haven't done as much time on road as me. So we was all doing criminal behaviours, but sometimes I decided to do a criminal behaviour that didn't bring me a massive charge because I was not looking to do jail for life. People can judge me. My friends when I was growing up used to laugh, say, how you going to jail, bro? Like, can't you stop going to jail? You're going to jail for stupidness. And I'm saying, bro, I was just in there. Yeah, I know I don't want to be in and out, but I'm young. You know what I'm trying to say? Some of them live with their parents. I wasn't living with my parents. I was living alone. Sometimes, as I said in previous of my videos, some people didn't even know I didn't even have a home. I come out of jail, and because people presumed Carty's always got a home because he always has his keys in his flats, and if he hasn't got a home, he's got a gal he goes to. Then people presumed I was always good, but not every time I was always good. Sometimes I used to go foreign looking for gal to try and stay in their house tonight and try use my little charm for the night. That's what I used to do. I used to go places with some of the drugs I've got back in the day, shut the place, go to little places, me blinging the little party crowds because I'm now the guy, and end up at after parties and just come back to the ends. People don't know the parties I've been to. On my own. So when you see me now on my own, just know I've been doing this for a while on my own. I don't need friends and associates to defend me and back me up. I'm strong on my own. My people can see I can handle my situation on my own. That's why don't need to get involved in the social media stuff that people like to be in. I'm obviously got an online business, so I have to be part of the social media. But I'm going to talk my truths, and nobody's going to build a story on me. Yeah? Nobody. Because there's no story other than the real story, which is my story. So let's get back to some of the look at using threatening and abusive language. 2010, so that's 15 years ago. Yeah, remember the time frames as well. Travelling on a railway without paying fare, possessing an offensive weapon in a public place, possesses knife, blade, sharp pointed article in a public place, obtaining services dishonestly, that's all travelling on the train stuff, failing to surrender at custody at appointed time. Remember, that's a conviction. Remember, these things are convictions as well. So when you say 100 and odd charges, please remember failing to surrender is some of them. Look how many failing surrenders there is. Please. Yes, there's a lot of thefts and shoplifting and travelling on the railway without paying fare, failing to surrender, possessing a Class B, travelling on the railway, theft and shoplifting. And I'm going to show you as well. So let me just show you the real recognised real and why I ended up doing a lot of thefts. Where are we? Let's have a look where the first one was. So if you look here, it's all thefts, assault, breach of community orders, breaches, 2007. Let's have a look if we go back here. Let's have a look if we can go back here, if there's any here. Let's have a look. Okay. 2008 was the first time I got caught with a Class A drug, which at the time they done me for possessing. And that was actually at West Bromwich Magistrates. And you know why that first charge came upon me? Because a group of us were just chilling, we met up, and of course I used to do my little thing when I was growing up, can't deny it, and I had things on me. And obviously when the police came, I threw all my things all over the place. Someone got arrested because they were standing, unfortunately, by the drugs. All of us got arrested in the car. Like, a lot of us got arrested in the car for weed and the drugs we all had on us. And because we was all young and it was all our first possession of drugs, they basically just gave us originally they gave me a 4-week sentence. That wasn't right. That wasn't the first one. It must have been. Possess cannabis, a Class C controlled drug. 14th of March, 24th of October. Okay. So basically, they found the drugs and they basically done us for them. Some of us got suspended sentences, which I think that's what that was. I think although they say imprisonment, I think it was a suspended sentence, am I right? Because I feel like it came from somewhere else. But basically, the be all and end all, I threw my drugs, it landed by someone, they got arrested. Me as a big man went over to them and said to the police, I said, that's not his drugs, they were my drugs, I threw them. I just found them, whatever it was, because I used to keep them in a matchbox, like a few things on me. Couldn't carry, as I say, this is where I say you have to understand my brains on the roads. I was never looking to go to jail for a long time, never in my life. So understanding I'm selling Class A's, understanding if I have a load of Class A drugs on me, carrying a load on me would mean I am possession with intent. So I used to carry only a certain amount of shots on me in the matchbox, just for when I need to get about. So when we're in the car, we're up and down, and the matchbox can be thrown, plugged, done anything with, compared to carrying a big pack and then getting locked up. And then when you obviously get caught with only a few shots, you can also then say it's possession because there's no proof, hopefully, that you've been trying to sell it. That's me in 2008, how my brain used to think, yeah? And when I threw my matchbox and it landed and they tried to strip search us all and someone happened to stand by the box, I had to own up and say those are my drugs, and that's what got me locked up. A lot of men don't have hearts like that. And also, what my point, why I came back to these things is, it's when I realised I have to take these things kind of careful, because I was very close to going for a very long time, because there was already onto me for all of my little theft charges. It was quite lucky that I had so many theft charges, because it made them feel I had some types of habits. Yes, I smoked a lot of weed. I smoked a lot of weed. Yes. So where are we now? We're in 2012. Failing to surrenders again. Failing to surrenders. Failing to surrenders. Battery. Possess controlled drug class B. Controlled drug class A. Breach of conditional discharge, possess controlled drug class B, theft, burglary and dwelling, battery without authority, possesses inside a prison an item specified in, failing to surrender at custody. And you see how these are all together though? Shows you like how things are duplicated as well, because some of them actually were, what's the word? Conditional, like they were suspended or whatever until I committed another offence. And because I committed an offence, those charges came forward, and then they added to my conviction because it was another offence while I was on a suspended sentence. When you all understand the DBS and understand how the convictions came across, you'll understand a lot of these are not actually even relevant to the type of person people are trying to make me out to be. And I'm going to look at the news reports in a minute. All these other ones: assault to constable and assault to constable, theft, shoplifting, possessing controlled drug with class A, possessing controlled drug with class A, battery, dangerous driving, using vehicle uninsured. And this was actually my last conviction. This one was while I was in jail. Yeah. They done me for battery. Yeah. This one is when I came out of jail, yeah, and I was driving, and I feel like people snitched on me, and I feel like someone had something against me, and they called police, said I was driving uninsured. They came behind me, put the lights on, I drove off, tried to jump out, but there was already loads of cars just waiting for me. So the fact that I got away, I dipped the first police car behind me, and I've ended up to get by my house ready to jump out, and I'm seeing other police cars already positioned around my house ready to get me. The is going on. Come on, how did you know where I was going? Possessing controlled drugs class A, these are all the same offences. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Class B, some of them are the same offences. So that's my DBS of my full record. Yeah. Now let's look at, because a lot of people like to think I'm some dickhead that don't care about where I've come from or cares about what people think they can presume about me. So here we are on my phone. You can find these on this one's Leamington Spa Observers. They've gone, drug dealer Samuel Carty was so well organised he even had business cards with his mobile number on to hand it out to customers in Leamington Spa. So they're trying to make it out that I'm very well organised. Am I very well organised now? Do you think I'm organised now, or do you think I'm still just scrappy? I'm just a scrappy guy who just is watching everything and seeing everything and don't understand it. Do you think I'm not screenshotting? What do you think I'm doing? I'm organised. But Carty was caught. Carty was caught after police officer in plain clothes saw him carrying out an exchange with a known drug user in the town. And at Coventry Crown Court, he pleaded guilty to possessing 25 wraps of cocaine and 10 of heroin with intent to supply them. The 27-year-old of George Road, Ernington, Birmingham. I'm not even no Ernington guy. I'm not from Ernington. That's where you put me in, because I'm not long come out of jail. And this is why I was selling drugs. I'm not long come out of jail. You put me in some hostel. I decided to take myself because I wasn't able to get a job after I tried. So I decided to take myself to another city to sell drugs, because that's what I used to do. That's what we used to do in 2016, this report was. It was updated on the 28th of October. I wonder what updates they made. You'd made some changes. What changes? What was the original post? Because this is just like the reviews I get. You make one review and then you want to change it up and reword it. What did you reword? Why did you reword it? Who made you reword it? But Carty was caught, yeah, oh yeah, the 27, yeah, George Road, Erdington, Birmingham. I'm from West Bromwich, yeah, not Erdington. I had a property there, yeah, who had previous convictions for more than 100 offences, was jailed for 3 years and 8 months. No context into my 100 offences. As I say, you can see probably about 40 of them are not coming to court when I was supposed to, using a false name, because that's where the some of them charges were for committing offence while on bail. A lot of those charges, yeah. A lot of those charges are there. Travelling on the railway without paying, like, yeah, come on. Assault, battery, because I'm being assaulted by police officers. I'm defending myself. Prosecutor Jonathan Vassie-Pugh said that in November 2014, a police officer saw an exchange taking place between a woman he recognised as a known drug user and Carty, who was apprehended. Carty was taken to Leamington Police Station, where he was subjected to a strip search, during which a package was found in his underwear. In addition, the police found £60 in cash and 3 handwritten business cards with the name Stone on them and the number of one of Carty's mobile phones. And on one of the 3 phones seized from Carty, there were 227 texts which made it plain he was actively involved in street dealing, said VC Pugh. VC Pugh added at the time Carty, who had a large number of previous convictions, was on licence from a 3-year prison sentence for burglary. Niall Skinner, defending, said Carty had a drug problem. Defending! What do you want us to say? We have to have a defence. Do you want me to come to court after selling drugs and say I was selling drugs? Or shall I say I've got a drug problem and hope that the court systems and the prison systems give you some help to get you a job and make you stay away from doing drug deals on the road? We're asking for help there, but it seems to be they want to make it out like I've got some major drug problem. I smoked weed. What are they inferencing? Are they inferencing that I've got some drug problem with crack cocaine? Because they didn't say I was found to have crack cocaine in my blood when they tested me. They did not say that I had crack cocaine or heroin in my blood when they tested me after arresting me. They have never said that after arresting me with any of these drugs. Yeah? So please tell me what drug problem you are referring to. Yeah? He added, with that need for drugs come the need to pay for them. This has been linked for year after year offences for theft, primarily shoplifting. Primarily, it's only shoplifting. That's the only offence you see where you can claim that drugs have done some offence to create money to pay for them, other than this offence now, selling drugs. Because this was my first offence as a 6-year-old man. I think I was about 27, they said. 27-year-old man. This was the first offence where they have charged me with possession with intent to sell drugs. Yeah? Their very first one. Yeah? So please tell me whatever offences you're referring to. Thought he'd make some drugs. Hello. That's the previous life. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to the other one. The bloody Birmingham Live one. Erdington drug dealer. Stop calling me Erdington. I am not from Erdington. I am from West Bromwich. Please at least get your facts correct. Drug dealer who gave business cards to customers, jailed after a 107th offence. Quite handsome, aren't I, really, when I was there? Do I look like a crackhead there? I don't know. Does that look like a crackhead to you? Because that's what some may want to presume. He's some crackhead, he's got over 100 offences, just used to steal and do this, and he's just a criminal. Oh, come on. Grow up. A drug pusher who had his own business cards has been jailed for 3 years and 8 months. Erdington, career criminal, you know. Samuel Carty has over 100 offences under his belt, doled out the cards with name stone on them to clients. Sentencing the 27-year-old, remember this is 10 years ago then? 10 years ago when I got sentenced for this year? You started committing criminal offences when you were only 16. So when I was committing criminal offences when I was only 16 and I was in probation, I was in the youth offenders, I've been to juvenile prisons, why is my behaviour not changed? What help did you as the government, you as the probation workers, you as the youth systems do to help a 16-year-old who now is living on his own to change his life? What procedures did you put in for a young black 16-year-old who is born in this country to change his life after his first couple offences? What did you do? Or did you sit back and let him go down the wrong way so then you could do these things? Persecute them and blame them for their actions? And wait there, let me get that straight. I am to blame for my actions. This one. I am to blame for my actions. I done them. I decided to do them. I had other options. Yes, I did. But at that time, my options only seemed to be the options I decided with. I regret some of my decisions now because I lost a lot of time. I lost a lot of me being in jail. I lost a lot of connections. I also then lost actually who I was because a lot of people then could just spread rumours because I'm not about. Now when you're not around, people like to talk about you. When you come around, these same things, people won't talk about you to your face because they know it's bull crap. They're just following in and feeling like we've got someone to talk about. So when I was in jail as a young kid for theft, yeah, I used to get laughed at. And I respected the people that used to come out of jail and they used to laugh at me and say, you're a dickhead. What are you going to jail for thieving for? There used to be a lot of them as well because I had a lot of people I knew. And a lot of people used to laugh at me for that. And I respect them for that. Those are the friends that I needed when I was growing up because they used to laugh at me for that. And I get that. But hello? Who else can laugh? Who else can laugh if you're just talking in the back, but then when you see me, you're acting completely different? You're all begging it in your own little ways, all trying to act all pleasant and still be secretive. It's dead. Let's get back to these stupidness. And carried on doing that year in, year out for 11 years. This is your 107th offence. You are certainly and were at the time an enthusiastic street dealer in Class A drugs and produce your own calling card so people wanted to get in touch with you to buy those controlled drugs. It's quite funny still. I was selling Class A drugs with business cards and I've had a business for 5 years and I haven't got business cards. It's quite funny, isn't it? Don't you find that quite funny? That's quite funny still. I'm laughing at myself now because there was certain things, certain things that I'm trying to get at, like with life. Why I do my YouTube channel, why people can't put me down for my previous past. Because I've changed my life and I'm a different guy now. And my life, I've always been a respectful guy anyway. I've always kept it above the board anyway. So I never done anything to anyone illegal. The only people that feel like they had offence to me were people obviously who own shops, yeah? But it was never small business shops. Let me just get that one straight. I wasn't attacking small businesses, yeah? I wasn't stealing from small businesses. Stealing from businesses that some will say they extort us anyway. They've been doing this labour to these people and whatever, yeah? So I wasn't stealing from normal, regular people. I used to steal from drug dealers and I used to do things to criminal people. Yeah, literally. And then when it comes to assaults, they were mostly, in 90% of the time, people that were in an authority position or believed they were in an authoritative position. That could be a police officer. That could be a prison officer. That could have been a train inspector. That could have been a variety of people that in their roles of jobs, they believe they have an upstanding right over how you should be and how you should act. And in fact, you are just upholding your own personal space first. So that's me in that nutshell there. Let's go back into it. Carty was collared in November 2014 after an exchange with a known drug dealer in Leamington Spa. A later search uncovered 25 wraps of cocaine and heroin worth a total of $350. Officers also uncovered £60 in cash and the Erdington dealer's trademark calling cards. One of 3 phones seized contained 227 texts with clearly identified Carty as a drug dealer. When caught, he was on licence after being jailed for burglary. It was burglary looking for a weed grow. A weed grow. You know, like a crop. That's what the burglary was. I wasn't robbing no normal civilians, people's houses. There's people who were growing weed. So, yeah, that's the burglary that I went to jail for. Yeah, the court heard that Carty himself was saddled with a drug problem. Well, carry on. Where's the rest of it? Okay, where is it? No, yep, there. Skin defending said clearly from his record he has a drug problem. He asked him what particular drug has a problem with, and he said anything that's going. Now, maybe where people are confusing me. Yeah? Because I said anything that's going. Because you arrested with me with Class A drugs. And when I am saying I am using these for personal use, I am not saying I am using Class A. I am saying I'm using anything. Because I smoke weed. So I can't say I don't take drugs, because I smoke weed. And I'm not going to completely lie on interview. So I'm just going to give you an initial statement of, these drugs are mine. I was selling them to fund my habit, and I am not what's the word? The word they use. I'm not going to be, basically, I didn't want them to say I'm on some conspiracy for selling drugs. Because there was conspiracies going on at the time, there was operations going on at the time, and I needed to make sure that when I got arrested, I made it very aware that I sell drugs for myself, I take these drugs for myself, and I don't do it for nobody else. Because that's what I was doing anyway. I don't take the drugs, but obviously I was doing everything for myself. For myself. Yeah? So that's why I ended up in jail. Yeah? That's why I ended up in jail. And that comment there where it's saying anything that's going. What do you want a criminal who doesn't want to go to jail for a very long time to say? What do you want a criminal who doesn't want to go to jail for a very long time to say? Because my aim and the approach I was coming from, I am a crackhead. So please don't send me to jail. Please don't send me to jail. I'm a crackhead. I take these drugs. I don't even sell them. They're personal use. They are personal use. I take these drugs. I do not sell them. Please don't send me to jail. Just give me a conditional discharge and a fine or something, please. I'm asking. I'm begging. I'm pleading. But they've used that excuse to not only not take that into consideration in my sentencing, yeah? So, I wouldn't mind, yeah, If you really believe that, yeah? If you really believe that, then why did you give me such a long sentence? Because there was people that were coming in on conspiracy charges longer than that. Sorry, take that back. There were people coming in on conspiracy charges getting less than me. So as me telling you I'm a person with a drug habit, why are you not taking that into consideration and giving me a lighter sentence? And if you gave me an extended sentence because you didn't believe it, then why did you go and say that in the news report? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. Because me never take no class crack cocaine or heroin in my life. Never in my life. Hand on heart, anyone that's Muslim, wallahi, I have never taken any crack cocaine or heroin in my life. And to put it even firm, I would never take any of those things in my life. I am a boss. Bosses don't take those foolish drugs, yeah? Bosses don't follow fools. So yeah, I grew up in an area where I saw a lot of people may have ended up taking those things. I've seen close friends tell me to fucking take those things. But you see me? Never. I'd be, I brought shame on my mum for all these charges, yeah? I brought shame on my mum with these reports. But I would never shame my mum like that. Never. Make her think she raised a son like that. Are you crazy? One thing I uphold, I've always tried to be a respectful, honest, genuine person to everyone. So even in that house that I got done for burglary, for running in to take a man's crop, yeah? People were trying to take people's things in that house and I told them not to. I took them things from them and put them down. Man ain't come here for people's things, we come here for weed crops. That's me. That's me. So remember these things. Man ain't no weird guy. When I look at some of these people that want to call me this as well and go by these reports and try and judge me for my crimes, I think you're judging me thinking I'm some crackhead, and I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, look at you. Like me, I'm just in my house when you might look at me looking a little roffish. Or I'm just dipping to the post office or the shop. Not really bothered. I'm not in a sociable life where I say I go out and sociabilize, where I feel my appearance always has to be on top. I do a lot of work from inside my house, so at times I don't have time to maintain my hair at all times, and I get my hair done by my partner, and when she's got work all week working in a nursery and she's coming home and she needs to rest, my focus is not to get my hair done by my partner. My focus is either work, chill, food, housework, relaxation with the family, whatever it is. But it's not to allow my woman to come home from work and have to do my hair and then maybe have to do dinner. That's not me. You know what I'm trying to say? So certain things, I don't go and take myself to trim and that. I trim myself, and sometimes when I start trimming, I over trim some parts. So because I'm doing it myself and I'm just just shaping it up. I'm not really fussed, I'm shaping it up. You get it? So sometimes I do go over. That's why sometimes you may see me take off my beard, because I've overdone something and I've just said, get it, take it off. Look like the cute young boy again. You know what I mean? But real life, I've gone through my record. I ain't ashamed of myself. I'm actually proud of my journey and where I've come from. And if people think they can judge me, grudge me, talk about me behind my back because of crimes they have no understanding of, now you have an understanding. Now you can see the type of crimes that you may want to say. You can see the time frame of these crimes. You understand my lifestyle back then. You may understand from how I'm talking what happened there. Why are fools believing news reports? We know papers lie. You know what? Let me have a look if this one was edited as well. Updated. This was updated on the 27th of February 2016. And when was it posted? Oh yeah, it was posted at 3 o'clock and it was okay. So they haven't changed nothing in this one, but the other one they changed something. So yeah, as I say, I'm not ashamed of myself and my journey. I'm not ashamed to come in and tell you about my journey and tell you about my life. If you looked through my videos instead of looking for negativity in my videos, you may find the positivity of how I've changed my life. You may find why I've changed my life. You may understand how even in my criminal behaviours times, how I've been very generous to a lot of normal people on a day-to-day basis, how I've stopped a lot of people attacking normal regular day people, how I've defended women who have problems and getting attacked by men, how I've defended racial things I've seen in my face, how I even, just to show you, where was it yesterday? It was Saturday, wasn't it? Was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday when we was going to my partner's mum, you get it? And we was on the train and there was loads of football fans, yeah? They were coming from, where were they coming from? They were coming from Taunton, I think it was, or Exeter, Taunton or Exeter or something, and they were going to play Salisbury on Saturday, and we was on the train with them, and they would come on with all their drums, beating drums and all types of things, yeah, and they were getting loud, but my partner was a bit, as she doesn't like the noise and things, especially after the assault that happened on the train, yeah, so because of that, I had to kind of just, it was already a busy train, so we was already in the corner, so I just had to shield her away from all the people. But then as we're just standing there, obviously she felt the noise, and an older woman kept coming up and having a go at the people, saying, could you stop banging the drum? And I get it, as I say, they're on a train, they shouldn't be acting inappropriately, all these football fans, but for me, they're just having fun. So for me, the woman started becoming rude and grabbing some of the lads and pushing them, saying stop that and don't be like that. So me as a normal civilian, and seeing that a group of football fans are arguing with an old woman and her partner is trying to grab her, I've had to stand in the middle and tell both the football fans to calm down and leave the old woman alone. And I've had to tell the young woman, the elderly woman, it's okay, you don't have to tell them, they're just having fun. They're just having fun. Just leave them to have fun. We understand it's a bit loud, but this isn't an everyday occurrence. So as it's not an everyday occurrence, and they're obviously going to a football game, and they're not staying on for long, just let them have a little bit of fun. As long as they don't touch you and start bouncing over you and spilling alcohol on you, you don't have to worry. And I've had to step up and say that. And I was the one that put the halt to these two groups of football fans and the elderly woman arguing. And this happened Saturday. But then a lot of people don't get to see the real me, do they? Because they don't want to hear the real me. So I'm going to do some shorts from this, from my key points, and I may go over some of my shorts of a load of my videos and just clip them so you can see the positivity that I bring and how what I actually mean. I'm not just saying it to influence you. I do this in a normal day-to life at times where I don't need to show you. Because one thing as a Muslim, I believe, charity doesn't need to be shown. And if you're doing charity to show it, that charity is void. Because you're only doing it to show, to receive something. You're not doing it out of the kindness of your heart. It's not completely void, but that complete awareness and that complete, what's the word? I don't know what I'm saying, but that complete awareness of it. Sorry, I lost my trail there. fools. But as we say, don't even know what they're saying. It's crazy. But yeah, as I say, end of this. Let's just forget it. Yeah. As I say, I ain't ashamed to talk. I don't need to prove my charity. Yeah, I just do charity. I'm just a good person deep down. And even if throughout my criminal lifestyle, I add a good personality towards people. Yeah. And after I've stopped doing criminal behavior, how do you think my behavior is now? I'm actually respectful. But because of where I come from, because you obviously can see my criminal charges, you must understand, at a time I didn't care about offences. And I didn't care. I had the heart to do whatever little or minor offence I had to do. And I regret some of them, but they make me who I am now because I'm strong enough to stand up to say what I need to say. Strong enough to say and do what I need to do. Strong enough to show you who I really am. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you comment on these ones. See if you comment on positivity, or you're going to, or just even comment and tell me how much of a bad guy I am. Go on, tell me. Tell me. See if it makes a difference to who I actually am. So thank you for joining SJ Cartier Limited Convos, and have a good day.